Hello there, folks. In this video, we're going to attempt to use OPC UA to talk to an Omron PLC that I have here. So I've got an Omron PLC connected to a switch, and then I have a RedLion HMI. So first off, I'm going to open up the DOS prompt, and I want to show you what the IP settings are of my laptop here. Maybe I won't if I can type. I'm going to type IP config. And you can see that I have my local Ethernet. Let me move this over just a little bit. My local Ethernet has a bunch of static IP addresses. And I've been told that the Omron IP address from default, I think the factory, is 192.168.250.1. So here I am in this window. Let's see if I can ping that first. 192.168.250.1. Okay, that's a good sign. Looks like we can ping it. Okay, that looks great. Now, in my playing around with the Omron software, particularly with my laptop, I have many different network interface cards or USB to Ethernet cards here. So in this case, I'm going to use some of these utilities they have here. And I found I had to use this to get their software to talk to it. So let me try this direct network. Let's see what this guy does. So this says connected here. It shows all this, just says connected. I don't really think it does anything. Let me try another one. That should disappear. Let me go to this network browser. Let's see what this guy does. So I'm going to use a direct Ethernet connection, hit the browse button, and look, it went out and found my TP-Link thing here. So that's good. I think that's working. All right, so I'll leave that open, and I'll just go ahead and shrink this down. And I'm going to launch the Omron software, Sysmac Studio. Let me make this smaller so you can see the whole screen. You'd be kidding me. Hold on here, team. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I love when software does that. That image of just the wheel spinning, and you wonder, what is it doing? So you have to be patient sometimes with these things. Okay. All right, so I'm going to click this connect to device, direct connection Ethernet. Let's try it. Let's go ahead and do the connect. Let's see if it connects here. Alrighty, so here we are in the Omron software, I think. And we're looking to see, I believe, in the lower right-hand corner, it says it's online here. Now you can see there's nothing in this window here. So I'm going to use the synchronize button here to see if I can upload from my existing PLC to see what it has in it here. So let's see what we have here. So I'm going to hit transfer from controller. Say yes, I'm going to upload this. Let's see what happens here. And I'll hit the close button here. It's an NX102, it looks like. And I don't think I have much in here, but let's go ahead and expand this. And let me go to data tags here, go to global variables. Okay, so I happen to have a number of registers already in this unit, looks like right here. That's already in there. And if I go over to the left here, there's a section here on the left called OPC UA settings here. So if I double click on that and then go down here to settings, I want you to notice that I do have enabled the OPC UA server. So that means that the RedLion unit is going to act as an OPC UA server. I am not doing any security on this. So if you right click over here and there's all these different security things in here, I'm not interacting with any of these. I'm not really using any of the security policies. We turned all that off because we could not get the certificates to work correctly. So anyway, we got that. Let me go back to my data types, my global variables. Here are all of the variables that are inside this unit now. There are internal ones that are in here and so forth. And then I also have, do I have any structures? I have a couple structure types that we could not read, or we can't read right now. But most of the others we should be able to check out. Let's try this. So I think this is good. I'm online here. Those are the variables that are in there. The IP address is 192.168.250.1. So, in my opinion, this is correct. Let me go open up Crimson 3.2 software. And I'll shrink this down. Okay, make this so you guys can see this whole screen. All right, I'm going to do File New. I'm using a Geo9 for this example. You pick whatever you might happen to have. I'm going to start off over in Device Configuration. Click on Ethernet 1. I'm going to make this guy have the same subnet network, except that the fourth octet will be 20. So I'm going to make the HMI be 192.168.250.20. That's on the Ethernet 1 database or Ethernet 1 interface. Ethernet 2 is default 192.168.222. I'm not using that, so that's okay. Let me go over here to Communications on the left. I'm going to click on Protocol 1 over here on the left because I'm looking to see if we have an OPC UA client. Remember, the Omron PLC is acting as an OPC UA server, so I want the RedLion unit to be a client or a master. So I'm going to hit the pick button over here, slide on down to Omron for my manufacturer here. Actually, not Omron, I'm sorry, OPC UA. Go to OPC UA, and you can see here I've got my client. That's what I want to use. So I'm going to click the OK button. And now on the left, you get this device 1 thing here. Well, team, let's rename that because this is actually our Omron PLC. So I'm going to call it Omron PLC. And we know that the IP address of the Omron PLC is 192.168.250.1. So I'm going to change this in here to 250.1. There you go. Don't forget to hit enter. Okay. Now here I am using the OPC UA method. And since I'm connected over Ethernet to that Omron PLC or that device, and you all saw that I'm connected online with the Omron via the Ethernet connection, I'm going to go down here to this auto configure. This is very important. I've got to use the Ethernet connection to get out to that device to see if I can read back any OPC UA tags. So I'm going to click the download data model from device. It's going to do something here. And I'll tell you what, let's call this one, let's do it Omron, today's date, 24/02/24. All right, let's see what it does. All right, so it did something. It went out and said the download's complete. It found 148 nodes, whatever that means. We'll show that in a little bit. So that's a good sign. If it comes back and it can't get anything, then you're either not on that network or that device is not broadcasting your OPC UA tags like you want. So I think right now we've got something from there. Let me go over here to the left side, go to DataTags on the left side. Let me quickly create just a new tag. I'm just going to make a new integer tag here. If I hit the source pull down, I can see down below, there's that Omron PLC that we just named and created. So let me click on that. Look at this, team. So I don't know if there's anything in here. Is there anything here? Well, so you get this, let me back this up. You get device set, new controller. Wow, this is interesting. And you get a server. Now, server doesn't look like, I don't see any tags in there, but under device set and new controller, I must have named a controller somewhere, but if I expand the device set and then go down to the new controller in there and then global variables, I can see a listing of what I think is the same tags that are in the Omron PLC using OPC UA. So if I wanted to look at one of these, for instance, let's say I wanted to look at a test integer, this tag right here. Because this is currently an X, I'll go ahead and click the OK button. And now this tag is mapped to that. Let me rename this guy. Okay, there's test it. Let me create another tag here for giggles and see if I can do one of those real numbers. So let me hit the pull down here, go down to Omron. Here's a test. That's a long, let's do this test real here. Let's click on that. I want you to pay attention to the X here. Let's see if it changes to a pi symbol as it shows here. Let's see. Oh, sure does, because that's a floating point and also converts here, which is awesome. Let me call that one test underscore real. And let's go ahead and create another tag here. Let me see what else we got in here. I got an int word. That's good. How about a long? Let me do this Let's do this test L real. All right. And I noticed that I have some Boolean tags on that list. So remember in Crimson, any of the bools or discretes we call a flag tag. So I'm going to create a flag tag. Let me go down here to the Omron. I'm going to go to this test bit. Now I see that it maps it as an X integer, but it's probably a bit. Can I right click on this? No, I can't. So I'm going to go ahead and click the test click test bit. I'm sorry. There we go. And let's rename this test bit. All right. What else did I have in there? Let me do another one here. I want to make another integer here. Numeric. Let me look at one more thing here. I got some other ones in here that are considered array tags. Now, I noticed that the label in here is letter AB, which usually indicates a string, but let's try something. Let's map this to the Joe's int array, which apparently must be an array in the Omron. Let me click here. Let me name that guy that. It's Joe's int array. Because supposedly it's an array type, team, I think right here where it says extent, I can go down and declare it here in the RedLion as an array. Now, I don't know how many elements it is, so let me go back to the Omron PLC. Let's be a little nosy here. So it's Joe's int array right here, and I'm not an Omron PLC programmer, but got some help from my buddy Richard. And this is an array of 10 elements of integer type. So given I see that, I'm not going to waste 16. I'll make that 10. Okay. All right. I'm going to try this out. I'm going to go over here to display pages on the left. I'm going to get rid of this guy here. Change my background color real quick. Then I'll go over to the right side. You know this trick. If you highlight a few of these things, you can drag them out here like this. And of course, you can make that a little bigger. And then the array types, remember the array types, they show up as kind of a purple color depending on what type you're using. But if you right click on that, you can either toggle the array there and see all 10 elements, or you can hit this little button here. It does the same thing. So I'm going to grab all of these like this, and I'm going to go ahead and make them a little bigger like that. And let's try this. So I'm going to go, since you can't see the HMI, I'm going to go over here to the web server. I'm going to use regular TCP, go to the features, enable remote control, bear displayed scaled. All right, so I think I got this all set up here, ready to test. I'm connected via the HMI via USB cable. I can also use the Ethernet, but well, let me try this. Let me hit the find button here. See if it, there it found it before. So I could use that to download to it, or I could use the USB to download to this unit as well. Let me go ahead and do the USB method and see how that works today. So I've clicked it there. Let me hit the Shazam button. Isn't that weird? Do I have it turned on? Well, it would help if I enabled the port. Let's try it again. Hold on. Let's see what does this. There we go. Okay. I suspect it's faster if you download over Ethernet. Coffee break. Oh, that's some good coffee this morning, team. Man, some 1050 weight there. Really good thick stuff. Like a coffee on a Saturday morning. It's delicious. All right. I think I'm downloading here. Okay. So let's go over here and open up some Google Chrome or something. And let me put in the IP address of that HMI, 192.168.250.20. Okay. Make this a little bigger so you guys can see it all. All right, I'm going to click Remote View here. All right, so here are the tags that are in that particular unit. It looks like I'm talking to the Omron PLC because I got some numbers, and I got some code from Richard that makes some things changes. So it's actually live data. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking at the array here. I wonder, let me go back here. Let me just try something here. If I can make these be data entry, a couple of them. Let's just give it a shot here, team. All right, let me download that. Let me go back do a link, use the TCP to download this time. Oops, I got to hit the right find button there. Notice the IP address here is kind of default from the class I taught the other day. I'm going to hit find. I want to use this one here, so I'll click OK. That has that correct address. Click OK and go ahead and hit the lightning bolt and download over Ethernet. You can tell because right here it says TCP IP. Perfect. All right, so back here now, I should be able to click on this, and I can put in some numbers. Let's see here. 455. Okay, I don't know. All right, I put some in there. So if I go back to the Omron software, that was Joe's int array right here. Let's see if I want to add this to the watch list. I always forget. I'm not an Omron person here. But I think there's a way you can actually look at this. Where was that here? Hold on. Well, crud. Let me pause this. Well, I was trying to use the watch window here. I don't know enough about the Omron software to add this to the watch list. I'm pretty close, but it's been about 3 weeks since I played with this, so since I forgot. But nonetheless, we are definitely talking to those tags, and we're even reading the array tags here as well. The only type of tags that we could not get to work with the Omron is the structure type, which is a little bit deeper, where a structure has subtags under. That's a little bit deeper at this point, and currently the OPC UA driver does not support that in the RedLion Crimson 3.2 environment. Maybe in the future we'll add that to a different version of Crimson, but right now it doesn't. But all the other ones, I can talk to any of them. So the only trick here is the Omron. Over here on the OPC UA, you've got to check the U's, and then the global variables, when you add them, I guess there's one more trick. In the Omron software, you do need to make sure that the network publish rules are set to publish only. So you want to make sure that those tags publish out there. And then when you, in Crimson, when you configure your driver as the OPC UA client and you put the device on, make sure you put the correct IP address of that device. The TCP port numbers to set the same. Make sure you're connected via Ethernet to that same network. So my laptop right now has the IP address of 192.168.250.123. The Omron PLC is 192.168.250.1, and the HMI is 192.168.250.20. But in order for you to be able to download the data model from that device or any OPC UA device with RedLion, you have to be on the same network with Ethernet for the software. That's the Crimson software to go out and pull that device and read back the OPC UA server tags. Anyway, I just thought I'd show a quick demo of that because I've been borrowing this hardware for a while, this Omron NJ series, and I appreciate it greatly from my distributor friends from loaning that to me. I'll give that back to them. But works great, team. So thanks a lot. Have yourself a great day. See you later.